What is up, guys? Welcome and good morning to the BatX Release Show on covers for Wednesday, August 23rd. I am Andrew Cayley, still here, no baby yet, so still pinch hitting for Josh this week. And of course, the man himself, Derek Carty. Thanks so much for joining us today. And what is up to everyone in the chat? My one request while subbing for Josh is, of course, hit that like and subscribe button. How's it going, Derek? A bit of an up and down day yesterday. Andy Ibanez giveth and Andy Ibanez taketh away. But some good results at the same time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we lost about a unit last night. There were a lot of plays. It is what it is. If the Ibanez play hits, we're easily profitable. You always have to sweat out the first couple at bats with those pinch hit guys, and we've hit on them way more than we've lost this year. But occasionally, they're just going to get their hits before they have a chance to get pinch hit for, and that's fine.
He's not going to do that again all season. 2 home runs yesterday. Pretty crazy day for Ibanez there. Okay, so let's get into it. We've got 6 plays today that are showing great expected value and plenty of day baseball action, which is always fun. So for those new to the show, if you need a refresher, here's how things work. We've got a procedure for getting these plays at the best price possible with as much time to get that price locked in, because once we go, these numbers tend to go very quickly. So I'll tell you the book where the best odds are available, plus a few secondary markets if we have those, and then I'll let you know the game, then the prop market, followed by the player and team he is on, and finally the bet over or under. And I'll give you a few seconds between each of the selections to allow you guys to follow along as easily as possible. You ready to go, Derek?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, so for release number 1, we are heading over to FanDuel. And the game is St. Louis Cardinals at the Pittsburgh Pirates. The St. Louis Cardinals at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Sorry to all the Cardinals fans out there. Another tough start for Waino. Probably should have retired last year. And we've made some money fading him at the same time, so that's not too bad. But tough season for Waino there. And the market we're looking at here is pitcher Ks. Pitcher Ks. Strikeouts. Pitcher strikeouts, let that roll up there.
Still
Do we have a move there?
No.
Still there. Good. So release number 1, Zach Thompson, under 5.5 Ks at -152. Zach Thompson, under 5.5 Ks, -152. Let us know in the chat where you got this price. I'm looking here for some secondary markets. Nothing specific on this one. Let us know what price you got. Where'd you bet it? What are your projections saying here, Derek?
Yeah, so this is the only book that I've seen that has a 5.5 line. Every other book is 4.5, around even money. I've seen some -110s out there. So definitely want to hit this at FanDuel if you can. I would imagine it's going to move down to 4.5 before this show is over. The bet's projecting 4.3. So if you're getting 4.5, I think plus 102 is the best I've seen. A bunch of books at even money. It's fine.
TK saying plus 105.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't love it. The 5.5 is really the number I want here, but it is okay to hit the 4.5. It's just if it was only 4.5 today, it wouldn't have made the show, but it still shows positive expected value.
Gotcha. Pittsburgh, not a great strikeout team, but not a terrible one as well. So that's a good number and good find there by Derek there for release number 1. Once again, that is Thompson under 5.5 strikeouts. On to release number 2. That is also found at FanDuel. Once again, at FanDuel. This game is the Boston Red Sox at the Houston Astros. Boston at Houston. We got some fun verbiage from Justin Verlander in last night's game, telling Alex Cora to go somewhere, which was quite hilarious. Not a huge Verlander fan, but anyone who tells Alex Cora to do that, that's points in my book. And the market we're looking at here is pitcher strikeouts once again. Pitcher strikeouts. Pitcher strikeouts. And for release number 2, we're going with Boston's Chris Sale under 5.5 strikeouts at -108. That is Chris Sale under 5.5 strikeouts at -108. So let us know in the chat. Did you get the price? Where'd you bet it? And what are the projections saying here, Derek?
Yeah, this is another one where FanDuel is pretty far off market. The next best lines that I found are minus 125s at a bunch of different books: Betway, DraftKings, PointsBet. So again, really want to get in at this FanDuel line. The other ones are okay, not amazing, but still pretty good. The bet's projecting 4.9 here, so a little more than half a strikeout under the line. If you're getting it at FanDuel, you're getting it pretty close to even money. Sale is still working back from injury, only threw 65 pitches in his first start back, so presumably going to be capped around 80 today. So this probably has a little more value than the projection is showing, just because that ceiling upside isn't really there with the pitch count. So I really like this one today. And he's facing a Houston offense that is good and pretty low strikeout. So very low strikeout, actually.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, very low strikeout
yeah.
team. And not only are they low strikeout, but they seem to be peaking at the right time here. And so that's I like that play a lot with his expected cap. Oh, it's LD Yang saying has been in and out this morning, probably not getting action that would put their number into place. Interesting there.
Well, that would make sense, I guess, because they're kind of off on some stuff today. I think our next play is at FanDuel also.
it is also at FanDuel. Release number 3, also found at FanDuel. The game is the Chicago Cubs at the Detroit Tigers. That is the Chicago
secondary
Cubs.
books here: MGM, Rivers, Betway. But again, FanDuel does have the best number.
The best number here. And this market we're looking at is, once again, pitcher strikeouts. We're looking at pitcher strikeouts again here in this one. Pitcher strikeouts. Okay, so for release number 3.
This one they have moved. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Let's see there.
Yeah. This we lost, I think we lost close to 15 points on this one. I think let's skip it. We can tell everyone what it is, because it's still fine, but this one we won't do as like an official play. This is going to be Jameson Taillon. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just not. It was just Jameson Taillon under 5.5 Ks. We were off air right when we, 2 minutes ago. It was minus 138, so that jump is quite drastic in the last 5 minutes or so. And yeah, you can just break down why you were looking at it there, Derek.
Yeah, it's still fine, but it was a little borderline to begin with. FanDuel was off market, so we were going to take it. But most books are like minus 150, minus 155. It's fine. Taillon's a low strikeout guy. It's a Detroit offense that does strike out a little bit. So I don't think the line is super far off. The bet's projecting 4.5. So it's a full strikeout under, but at minus 150, it's kind of just okay. So do with that what you will.
Yeah, Tigers, like you said, they're a bad strikeout team, but not also the worst at the same time. And he's actually, the 5.5, it's a number that Taillon's gone to in 15 of his 19 starts. So pseudo release number 3 here, actual official release number 3 next up is found at Bet Rivers. Next is release number 3 found at Bet Rivers.
Secondary books, Barstool and MGM, I think, have the next best lines.
And the game is Miami at San Diego, the Marlins at Padres, Miami at San Diego. And in this one, we are actually looking at pitcher outs. Your outs recorded prop. Pitcher outs this time. And for release number 3, we're going with Sandy Alcantara under 18.5 outs at about minus 113. Sandy Alcantara under 18.5 outs, minus 113. So as always, let us know in the chat what price you get. Where did you get it at? Alcantara just doesn't look like the same pitcher as he was last year. His K rate is down, obviously. For me, the big thing is his opponent expected batting average, expected slugging percentage are way up, which I think means he's finding too much of the plate. Bit better lately, 2.13 ERA over his last 5 starts, but this Padre lineup is definitely one that I think can give him some problems. What are your projections saying here, Derek?
Yep, projection here is 17.8 outs, which doesn't seem like a big difference between this line. But when you're on the other side of that 6-inning barrier, it does make a big difference. This does project to win about 70% of the time. Yeah, I mean, Sandy goes deep. If he's efficient, he's going to go over. But, this play has been a winner more than half the time this year. And he's facing, he's in a really tough matchup. So he's facing a Padres offense that's one of the best in baseball. And so that's really what we're hoping for here, for him to be hit around, for him to not be as efficient as he normally is.
They work a lot of walks, take a lot of pitches.
This is the Padres lineup that has, the highest projected walk rate of any team on the slate, which should really help with driving the pitch count up here. So I was debating between this and a strikeout line, which I think looks really good, but this is the one I settled on. I think there's a little more value on the outs.
Seeing -115 at Barstool there as well. And so once again, Sandy Alcantara under 18.5 outs. Okay, next up, release number 4 at DraftKings. Release number 4 can be found at DraftKings. This looks like a book-specific play. The game is Washington at the New York Yankees. Washington Nationals at the New York Yankees.
Yeah, only book that offers this market, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yankees just a disaster right now. They lost again last night. Carlos Rodon was a good fade for us yesterday. But today's market will be player strikeouts. Player strikeouts. Not pitcher, player strikeouts. Let producer Mick scroll down there. Scroll. And for release number 5, we're going with Blake Rutherford under 0.5 strikeouts at +185. That's Blake Rutherford under 0.5 strikeouts at +189. As always, let us know what price you get. Where did you bet it? This Nats rookie struck out 8 times in his first 31 plate appearances. I'm sure facing a struggling Luis Severino helps in your decision-making process here. Dude's just been awful. But I'm guessing that Rutherford also has a high pinch hit rate. I've been around here a little bit now. Am I right there, Derek?
Yeah, it's not crazy high, but it is 21%, which is significant. A guy who's about a league average strikeout guy to begin with. Going to have a bit of a pinch hit risk. Like you said, Severino has not been good, below average for strikeouts this year. We have an extreme hitters umpire, which should help. So, hopefully Severino's kind of out early. We get the hook. This only projects to win about, what's the number here? 43% of the time. So, not quite a coin flip, but at +185, that's still really, really good.
Yeah, I think that's the number there that makes you confident to make that play there. So Blake Rutherford under 0.5 strikeouts in tonight's game against the Yankees at +185. And look at that, down to +170 already there. Thank you, Anthony. And finally, we're closing out with release number 5, also found at DraftKings. Once again, a book-specific play. This game is the Seattle Mariners at the Chicago White Sox. That is the Seattle Mariners at the Chicago White Sox. And the prop market is player walks. We're going with player walks this time around. Once again, I will always say that DK needs to work on this UX experience so Mick doesn't have to scroll for 30 seconds all the way down, or all of you guys do out there. But here we go. So release. Oh, no, he's still scrolling. He's still scrolling. Jeez.
Josh said it last week, bet 365s, where you just have it, just make it collapsible. That's it. Just make it collapsible.
It's so nice. I feel like that's not a huge thing for them to have to do either. The collapsible markets are wonderful for sure. Release number 5. We're going with JP Crawford. Under 0.5 walks at +150. That is under 0.5 walks at +150. As always, let us know what price you get. Where'd you get it at? Crawford facing White Sox starter Michael Kopech. So I'm really interested to see what the projections say here. Obviously, Kopech walks a few guys, and Crawford walks at a fairly high rate. So, what's the bad X say on this one?
Yeah, part of this is so the projection is this projects to win right around 50% of the time. So 50% at +150 is really good. It's one I was a little surprised to see pop up because, like you said, Kopech walks guys. Crawford has been walking a lot this year. I think there's a couple things playing into the projection here. First is that Crawford has a 15% walk rate this year, which is way above anything he's ever done before. You look on FanGraphs, every projection system is projecting like 11%, 12%. So we're expecting regression in Crawford's walk rate to begin with. And we're expecting the same thing with Kopech. Kopech's been walking, he has a 5.9 walk per nine this year, which is really, really high. But again, never done that before. We still are dealing with small sample sizes, even this deep in the year, where you can't just trust it at face value. Every projection system is projecting him for about 4.5, 4.75. So you expect regression for Kopech, you expect regression for Crawford. And then today you throw in one of the best pitchers, umpires in all of baseball, which should kind of help, with the walks. And you wind up with some pretty significant value here.
I like it there. I like it. So to recap today, guys, that is Thompson under 5.5 Ks, Sale under 5.5 Ks, Alcantara under 18.5 outs, Rutherford under 5.5. Under 0.5 player strikeouts, and JP Crawford.
Imagine if we got 5.5 Ks at
5.5. Put the house on it. JP Crawford under 0.5 walks, and we did briefly mention Jameson Taillon at under 5.5 strikeouts as well, but not an official play there. So that'll do it for the Bad X Release Show today at Covers. Once again, if you like what we're doing here, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks as always, Derek, and thank you guys for all tuning in. We'll be back Friday at 9:15 Eastern, of course. And I'll be here unless my baby is born, which is due tomorrow. So fingers crossed. I don't know for which one. I guess for the baby being born. But we'll figure it out, and we'll get you all Derek's great